Hey everybody, Scott here for the Digital Guitar Playground. It's Wednesday. Normally I would do a Name That Riff today, but I wanted to expand upon the thing I was working on Monday, show you some other options for a different kind of sound using two drives in front of a clean-ish amplifier. And, it's just a matter of going through all the amps, man. Oh, there's so many. Huh. And then going through all the drives, figuring out which ones produce a real amp-like sound. Like a great overdriven sound. Because the goal, for me, is to find, that perfect blend of a decent clean sound with an overdriven sound. If I have to use pedals to get it, fine, as long as it sounds and feels like an amp overdrive, then I'm cool with it. So, Today I've got a preset with just 3 scenes, keeping it simple. So if you're just using the FM3 without an FC6, you can set this up to just run bam, 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 all 3 switches. The first scene is cleanish, the second is crunch, the third is lead. So it doesn't get any easier than that. Not using any gate, just still not found a reason for it, even though this is probably the highest gain of a preset that I've created without a gate. So lots of gain. Compression, not a lot, just a hint. And it doesn't change at all. It's the tube compressor, using it through all the scenes with the same settings. The drives are the SDD preamp and Box O Crunch, which is, I believe, a Zvex Box of Rock emulation. But it's a really good one, and it has a really cool sound when used with today's amp. It's an orange amp. And I was thinking to myself, what amps have a lot of balls to them, even when they're played clean, and orange came to mind. So I've decided to go with one of these for today. And it's really working out. The drive's way down. I am using the scene controllers for the bass, mid, treble, and the other drive, which is the SDD. So when we go to, to the lead, you can see it jumps up. And that's how we get most of our lead volume, boost volume, I should say. The rest is coming from the scene outputs, with the scene levels. So, if a super easy way to have your lead levels bump up, just increase your scene levels. And I've got 2 outputs because I'm going to 2 separate. What's going on there? That's weird. But since there is no scene 4, that doesn't matter. I'll save it anyway. But yeah, so on the cleanish, the amp settings are thus: low drive, low master. The ideal, or not the ideal, I am using some of the saturation though. I have turned this on, and it's a really cool parameter to monkey around with, because it makes the amp just, it gives you more saturation, more breakup instantaneously. And you can adjust, this, you can make it, ideal or off or whatever. But the saturation drive is a sensitive control because it can add a ton. And I've rolled it way back. I'm doing my usual stuff with the, the power supply. Bumped up the supply sag, pulled down the variac. Using my favorite speaker impedance curve here. Bumped up a little bit of speaker drive and some speaker compression. These are all things that I learned on the Cooper Carter class, FM3, just, FM3 basics. And they can really transform an amp model into something that feels real in the room, which is great. I have adjusted the input curve. And I find this to be very important because if you just leave this stock, you're going to have, a woolly bottom end and a much fizzier top end. So I just set my parameters. I don't adjust this. I am using some of the gain enhancer, just a hair. Another thing that I learned from the Cooper Carter class, although he doesn't recommend using the gain enhancer when you're using a speaker in the room. He uses it more for in-ears, but if you use it in small amounts, it can really do a cool thing to the sound. Other things you can do, and I'm using in the cab, I'm using an orange cab today, which is a cool one, and set my high and low cuts. Always set high and low cuts. Never leave these stock because you're going to end up with too woofy of a sound, with too much brightness. So I'm usually around between 72 and 88 hertz for the bottom end, and then anywhere between 55 and 66 kilohertz. Depends. Now I'm going to do some stuff with this. I'm adding some room level. So we're going to get a little bit of room sound. And since today's reverb is a room reverb, I'm just adding to that with this. So, just accentuating the roomness of everything. Chorus, a little bit, only a small mix. A little bit of pitch, small mix as well. I just love the sound of some modulation with my sounds. And the reverb is the small room, and not a lot of that. My parametrics are set up differently for each one of the for the scenes. I've got I don't know if it's for all of them, but going between the cleanish, yeah, and then the crunch, they're different because I needed to have some more bottom end come through. Excuse me, on the crunch. So you'll notice that changes. And then, the drives come on, blah, blah, blah. So, here's the other one. There's for the cleanish. And then the crunch lead stays the same. Now, let me grab a guitar. There you have it, everybody. Another fun double drives preset. I would say go to my website to get these, but apparently the FM3 page is not up on my website yet, so don't go there. You can email me, though. I'll send them to you if you want these, any of the presets that I've made over the past few weeks, except for the Name That Riffs. You gotta win those, man. Whatever. I'll be back. Maybe Friday, because I don't have anything going on this weekend with Y&T, so I'll shoot a video on Friday. Come on back. I'll see you then. And until then, rock on.